Hello and welcome to Aviation 101 with Laura. I'm here to show you how to use the ASA brand CX3 flight computer to figure out holding pattern entries, which I have to say, this computer is really cool. You can do the online emulator, so I've got one pulled up. It is not super obvious to me how you actually are supposed to do a hold with this, so I did some playing around. The holding patterns depicted on here, I will link to the other video I made regarding these holding patterns because I have another whole video about drawing holding patterns and holding pattern entries. I'm not going to go into detail on that. I just want to show you how to use this flight computer. You can follow along with the online emulator. I'll put a link in the video description. But for now, let's get started. So this holding pattern says hold west of the GGG VOR 270 degree radial. Okay. So in order to find my holding pattern, I'm just going to go down my list on the menu of the CX3. There we go. Press the orange center button. It defaults to right turns. So we'll leave it because that's how the holding pattern is depicted here. That's what it says in my instruction. I'll show you in a minute how to do the left turns. Okay. Head is where is your aircraft headed? So here we have an aircraft. It's depicted as going essentially east. So I'm going to say we are going 090. Make it simple. Then hold. Again, it's really just not clear to me what you're supposed to put in these blanks. So I had to play with it. Hold seems to be, it works correctly when you put in the radial that ATC tells you to hold on. So we are going to enter 270 degrees. Cool. That tells me that I should make a direct entry and the inbound leg is going to be 090. So let's look at that actual holding pattern, and that is correct. We can see that we are holding with a 090 degree inbound course, 270 degree outbound, and it definitely makes sense to go direct in our holding pattern entry. Okay. That was pretty simple. Okay, so let's go on to holding pattern second example. Here we have the heading of the aircraft. I am going to estimate this aircraft is heading 045. Okay, cool. This then says what holding radial we are holding on. In this case, it's 360. Okay, press the button and it tells me I should do a parallel entry. And my inbound course is 180. Okay, so again, watch my other video if you want to see how to draw these in a really simple manner, but that in fact does make sense. I should in fact do a parallel entry here. I would go ahead and we can actually draw it. I would fly to the fix and then I would fly opposite and turn through the middle of the hold and then do my holding pattern entry. And in fact, again, the CX3 is correct. My inbound heading is 180. At least that's my inbound course. Can't say for wind corrections, but okay. So let's clear out of everything and then do another example. Okay, so here's another one. Here it says to hold south on the 180 degree radial. Okay, so we are going what direction? Generally, I'm going to say maybe 160 degrees approximately. And it's the 180 degree radial. And it does tell me I should do a teardrop entry. Okay, so let's take a look at that holding pattern. There's the actual holding pattern. And yes, in fact, it does make sense to hit the fix and then fly the teardrop entry pattern. And again, we can see the CX3 has said correctly, the inbound course would be 0 or 360. Okay, and it does say teardrop entry right there. Cool. Let's do a different one where we are doing left turns. All right, so here we have holding east of the VOR on 090, 5 DME legs, left turns. Okay, we don't care anything about the DME. The aircraft here is heading 090, so I'm going to enter that. The holding pattern is also on the 090 radial, but we have to tell it left turn. So you just scroll up to the top and then press the center button and it changes to left turns. And if you saw that, it actually does change the entry for this holding pattern to, it says it's a parallel is preferred. Honestly, that's probably what I would do. Let's take a look at the holding pattern itself. I would prefer to do a parallel. You could do a teardrop on this one. So I would go to the fix, fly, paralleling the course, and then turn around the aircraft. Now, so the only problem I have with this CX3 calculator is really not a problem, other than if you're going to use this for FAA test questions, you do have to still think about how to draw these entries, because it says parallel. Honestly, if this was an FAA question, teardrop or parallel, and sometimes the FAA does give you the option of teardrop or parallel, so you would not want to select parallel only. The computer says parallel, and that, yeah, that's true, but you just have to know what you're talking about. So I do recommend checking out my other video about holding pattern entries. Don't just use this blindly without even thinking about it, but check that other video out. I'll link to it in the description. And thank you for watching Aviation 101 with Laura. Have a fantastic day.